Couple discovers suitcase. Soon after, the FBI knocks on their door. A young couple was renovating, and after months of hard work, they tackled the basement. As they cleared it, they found a suitcase that would turn their lives around. This discovery would end up being the first of many that would lead to a disturbing truth. The couple walked into the basement and saw the drooping ceiling and warped wood beams. Whilst the basement didn't look like much, they would discover something in that room that would change their lives forever. As the young couple tore down the ceiling piece by piece, they saw something hidden perfectly in the rafters. It was an old suitcase, and obviously someone had gone far out of their way to hide it so perfectly. The homeowners stopped working and removed the suitcase from the rafters. He then called his wife from upstairs, and the two marveled over the case. What would be inside? They could even imagine what the old case had in store for them. Something was definitely intense about such a nice case. The case wasn't big, but for its small size it was quite heavy. Ideas turned in their mind as to what could be inside that old green suitcase. They had to open it and find out what was inside. Before doing so, they agreed that it'd be better to open it outside, as the contents could have been anything and they didn't want to damage the house in any kind of way. It would have actually been wiser to open it inside the house, away from watchful eyes. At first glimpse, the couple couldn't see anything that would appear significant. They found 3 rectangular shapes wrapped in wax paper. They felt let down by the contents to begin with. They thought they really had something special for a moment. The contents behind that wax paper drove the couple into a world of absolute excitement. They just needed to find out what was there. They began tearing the paper. What they would find would surely turn their world upside down. What they found was something remarkable. It was cold, hard cash in the form of $20 bills. That said, these bills were much older than the ones we deal with on a regular basis. The homeowner later told the newspapers, "These are all 20s. There may be a couple thousand here. We're freaking out at this point. This doesn't happen to us. What do we do? Where are the cameras?" That was the reaction to one bundle. They still had 2 more to unravel. The man described what made up the other 2 bundles. He said, "The second package didn't have any 20s. It was all 50s. What's going on here? There could be $5 grand here. Wait, the third package is hundreds. This is out of control." The money came with an array of questions. Where did it come from? The bills looked like they were from the 20s and 30s. How old were the suitcases? Would there be more money hidden in the house? They would eventually find out. Beneath the bundles of cash was a hint that would answer all their questions regarding the age of the suitcase. What they saw was a copy of the Cleveland Plain Dealer, the paper from the town they were currently living in. The paper in question was dated the 25th of March, 1951. This meant that the suitcase before them had been in hiding 65 years. The couple wanted to know how much value money that old can have in our modern society. Wanting to know if their money was worth anything, the couple contacted a lawyer. Some bills were star bills that had never been circulated, and all the currency was over 70 years old. Luckily for them, the lawyer let them know a positive truth about the money. Apparently, it'd be worth more now, approximately $23,000. The homeowner posted a closing message on Reddit with the idea that this wild ride was over. But little did he know it, it was all just beginning. Things were about to take a startling turn for the young couple. Over time, the excitement died down and they went about their business renovating. Then the husband discovered what would appear to be a second suitcase. He brought it down and took a deep breath. He was hoping it'd be identical to the first one. He refused to open it on the spot. He knew the right thing to do would be to wait for his wife to come home from work. She would definitely want to be there to see the contents of the second case with her own eyes. As he waited for her arrival, he pulled out his handy camera and snapped a few photographs of the 2 cases together. The couple snapped open the second case together and immediately discovered that they were thousands of dollars richer. The money wasn't wrapped in delicate wax paper this time, but instead it was lined up and very neatly organized. The big questions in their mind was how much money was in the case and what other surprises awaited them. Their minds wandered in every which direction as they laid in bed that night. Just what secrets were in the place that they called home. The case had more money in it than the first. They had just instantly earned themselves an extra $45,000. The couple felt absolutely blessed. That said, they weren't going to blow the money on boats, cars, and other things of luxury. They were going to put it towards their home. Little did they know this second case was going to bring them closer to more mysteries, one that would eventually call for the FBI. One just doesn't find that kind of money lying around without there being something shady attached to it. These little surprises resulted in the young couple looking at their house with a new perspective. Thinking there might be more secrets hidden, they began searching areas of the house that they'd oftentimes overlooked. They discovered what appeared to be a utility access panel that ended up being a secret passageway to a hidden room. This would be the biggest secret yet. This would lead them into a Pandora's box of memories which could never be erased. What they discovered wasn't a utility access panel, but the entire room that could fit inside a number of people. The floor was covered with multiple carpets. There was also aging light fixtures inside. Something was definitely weird about this room. The man cautioned his wife to stay behind, and he delved further into the room. On the other side of the room was another door. This new door was different as it was fastened with a lock that would prevent anyone from entering. What could possibly be sitting on the other side? Despite any mystery that might have been waiting behind the door, he knew that he couldn't turn around now. While heavy-duty locks could be tough to break, he had more than enough tools to break through it. His curiosity would soon see him come face to face with a shocking secret. The man knew almost immediately upon opening the door that something was definitely strange about his home. The surprises were sure fun, but for several years he thought he knew his home. Looks like he was dead wrong. The first article that the man found in the room was a brown briefcase. The biggest surprise would be waiting inside for him. Would the couple end up discovering more money in the case, or perhaps something more amazing? The couple didn't waste any time and immediately opened the case. What they found inside were some relics from the past. It held 2 old watches, 2 rings, 4 silver ingots, and dozens of envelopes that were stuffed with cash from a variety of foreign countries. The brown briefcase wasn't the only thing that the couple found. Hidden in the furthest corner was a mysterious safe. If they basically left the money lying around, what could be in a safe? Obviously, this was something they wanted kept secret. Given the odd room that was soundproof and covered in plastic, the man began to get an idea that the safe would hide something strange inside. Perhaps a secret he wouldn't want to discover. Something that would make them feel extremely awkward. Who would think to find something like this in their own home? The man began wrestling the safe open, and when he finally flung open the door, he was welcomed with a note that simply warned him by saying, "Save yourself." The man began to feel extremely uneasy, and we absolutely cannot blame him for it. Was this a warning to him and his wife, or was this just some kind of sick joke? Things were about to take a very horrible turn for this young couple, so horrible that the authorities would have to get involved. As he delved deeper into the safe, he saw a warning inside that said, "Do not." Below that, he saw an array of old videotapes. He felt pretty awful about the situation and could feel an awful feeling in his gut. The person who left these behind didn't want them to be watched. The man slowly began the removal of the tapes from the safe. Should he watch the tapes or just leave them be? Perhaps they'd reveal the big secret about the hidden room. The man didn't know what to do. Sometimes we have to walk away from these situations. The man studied the tapes. Oddly enough, the tapes seem older than the 2 suitcases he found and is older than anything in the briefcase. The labels on the tapes reveal practically nothing of what they would reveal. They were simply labeled as 194, 1195, 11195, IV, 95V. The discovery was too strange for him, and he decided he wouldn't dig any deeper. He tried putting the mystery out of his mind, but they called him at night and day, and eventually he decided to unravel the mystery. After spending nights tossing and turning and dreaming about those tapes, the man finally decided that he had to play them, and he brought them out. He popped the tapes into his VCR and pressed the play button. The scenes displayed before him were images he'd truly never forget. They were something completely out there. Just what did the man see on the old tapes? We'll never know what he saw, but we do know that he'll never erase those images from his mind, and he had to call the authorities. The man didn't get through the first tape. He turned it off after only a few minutes and immediately contacted the FBI. They showed up almost as quickly as he called and removed all of the tapes and launched a full-scale investigation. The young couple's renovation, of course, had to be paused as their house was filled with agents. Nothing further has been released to the public, and the world has been left in absolute speculation. we perhaps may never know the truth behind those tapes. Their once quiet block, where it seemed that nothing bad could happen, was suddenly stormed with police cars, FBI agents, and even fire trucks. The authorities were taking no chances with such a case like this. The tapes had to be taken away and studied. The young couple had no say in letting the authorities in. They didn't care if they had anything personal lying around. These officers weren't asking to come in, they were making the demands. We can only imagine how fragile the couple felt. They tore the basement apart and surveyed every square inch of the place. There was nothing the couple could do about it. They even went into their beautiful backyard and began digging up the garden. They told them nothing of what they were doing. They even questioned the couple during an extensive interview that went on for hours. Their faces were stoic and conveyed no expression. A conclusion is still yet to have been made in regards to the tape found. Who knows when this thing will wrap up?